What's up guys, it's me Jeremy. We're back again with another list of champions that you might not see in the LCS, but happen to be seriously strong options for SoloQ. I see so many players that love to emulate their favorite pro players. You know, the meta always kind of follows the pro meta, but in reality, the competitive level of the game is completely different from a professional setting. So the best champions can often be totally different, and there's lots that just fly under the radar. So today, myself and our challenger analyst eThug has thrown together a list of these champions that you're not really going to see in the LCS too often, but that doesn't mean you should ignore them if you're looking to climb. This video is sponsored by GGEsports.com. It's a website and mobile app where you can compete for free in an LCS prediction game and has news, stats, and more, all for real prizes like Razer gear and iPhones. They've got a ton of exclusive statistics and custom scores and calculations as well to help you with your predictions. And of course, I'll be playing in the GG Esports All-Star Series like you guys might have seen in the previous video with a bunch of other YouTubers and some of you guys for even bigger prizes every week. They're also doing $100 RP giveaways every week, which you can find a link for this week's giveaway in the description. And stay tuned to the outro for more info. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like on it or let us know in the comment section below. And be sure to subscribe for some more videos. First up on the list today, we have Evelynn, who's a jungler that just doesn't really see play in the LCS that much. The thing about Evelynn is that her stealth really gives her the ability to surprise players at pretty much all stages of the game, and combined with her assassination power, that makes her a really snowbally champion. And the problem is that champions like this kind of tend to take advantage of really disorganized teams that have poor awareness, poor communication, and although that makes her very strong in the right hands for SoloQ, she doesn't really bust it out when it comes to the LCS level. Now, in a competitive setting, the maps are going to be quite split and well warded, with players constantly keeping tabs on where Evelynn is, which is going to reduce the number of opportunities she's going to have to gank and pick off targets. Still, don't let that put you off of playing Evelynn in SoloQ. She's the perfect champion to sneak in a few early kills and really get you that advantage that you need to carry the game. A lot of players might avoid Evelynn after the changes to her passive that make her wait until level 6 before she gets stealth, but she can pull off some really strong ganks early on, and she's a great assassin option for carrying SoloQ, and really is just someone that you can really go far with. Next up, we've got Nidalee, and although she's seen definitely some play in the NALCS on previous patches, she's kind of fallen out of popularity because the current meta junglers outscale her really well. Having a jungler that can hard carry a game through kills is really good for SoloQ, but in the competitive setting, you really need a jungle champion that will bring more to the table from a team play perspective. Nidalee's squishiness means she can't really act like a tank, like a frontline for her team like some of the meta junglers can, and she lacks crowd control, so if she falls behind, it's a little bit difficult to contribute to the game. That said though, Nidalee's definitely one of the best hard carry junglers out there and is a great option as well, especially if your team is playing full AD lanes. She brings a great AP force and can really carry games pretty much single-handedly in the right hands, and as a result is a champion that can really bust it out when it comes to the SoloQ level of play. Now our next champion is one that comes out with quite an interesting concept, and it's Nasus. Scaling can be a little bit of an issue for champions in pro games because teams kind of just know exactly what to do to deny you the resources that you need to hit your power spikes, and that makes Nasus not that great of a choice when it comes to pro play. Nasus kind of just focuses on farming creeps the whole game rather than farming champions or taking objectives, and professional top laners and junglers are very good at harassing Nasus and really just punishing his laning phase, and Nasus doesn't really have any tools to stay alive if he can't get the sustain from the creeps, and the constant focus is going to leave him behind on gold and low on damage. But that said, a lot of his weaknesses really don't apply in a SoloQ environment. The real reason Nasus is so good in SoloQ games is that you can kind of just leave him to do his thing and eventually he'll just start split pushing, and no matter what happens, he's eventually going to get too strong to ignore through a mix of tankiness and insane damage output. And when it comes to SoloQ, late game scaling champions are ones that can take you quite far because teams in the SoloQ environment compared to pro play really just don't close out games as efficiently and as effectively, nowhere near the pro levels. So you're going to be given a lot more time than you otherwise would to be able to scale up, hit that late game fantasy, and just dominate. Next up on the list, we have Tryndamere, and like Nasus, he really excels at causing a ton of pressure by split pushing and forcing the enemy teams to react to him. He's probably one of the strongest duelists in the game, and that's really effective in SoloQ, especially when it comes to split pushing, because you can essentially force the enemy team to send at least 2 people to have to deal with you, which of course causes your team to gain a 4v3 advantage elsewhere on the map, and you can always escape and teleport to join up with them for the team fight. The alternative is that you can also just carry through kills and smash down the enemy base if they don't respond. So he's a pretty rough pick and can be difficult to coordinate a defense against in SoloQ. Although pro players in the LCS are definitely a lot more efficient and effective at dealing with a Tryndamere strategy, the main reason he isn't necessarily picked that often is because he kind of just really lacks crowd control. You know, one of the other big duelist split push champions is Jax, and when it comes to the pro level of play, there's not really all that much reason to pick Tryndamere over Jax, since Jax kind of does the same thing, but has a little bit more utility with the crowd control and can be more effective in team fights. But when it comes to the solo strategy of split pushing, just tower diving the enemy that's defending you, the strength of Tryndamere is definitely going to shine through and will have a lot of effectiveness in SoloQ, especially when you're trying to solo carry the game. And next up on our list today, we have Heimerdinger, who has a lot of really nice tools to use when it comes to SoloQ. His turrets give him exceptional pushing power and make him a great choice for defending a lane since he becomes so hard to tower dive, and you don't ever really need to help him in lane. You can kind of just slap a Heimerdinger in a lane and not really need to worry about him and affecting him with jungle pressure. And it essentially just means that your jungler can focus on the other lanes and Heimerdinger can kind of just sit in the lane and be fine, and if the enemy jungler ganks you, you can oftentimes just turn it around and kill both of them. Now the thing about Heimerdinger is that a good amount of his strengths typically just aren't that great when it comes to pro play, but you can definitely use them to be a split pusher, a defender, and overall do lots of crazy stuff, and his kit actually gives him a pretty versatile concept when it comes to SoloQ, and as a result ends up working quite effectively. Just want to take some time here at the end to talk a bit more about our sponsor. Register now on ggesports.com to start playing for free. The more people who register, the larger the prize pool is for the giveaways, so definitely check it out at ggesports.com. This week, at the time of making this video, I put 500,000 coins on 100 Thieves to win versus Clutch Gaming, and 800,000 coins for Cloud9 to win versus Team Liquid. I'm placing much bigger predictions this week, so hopefully my high risk, high reward strategy can pan out for me. Don't forget to check out GG Esports on Facebook for their weekly RP giveaways. You can find the link to that in the description once again. This week I actually came second in our challenge, so a bit of a step down from being first for the entire competition up until now, but I'm definitely going to bounce back for you guys next week for sure. And thanks again as always for watching the video.